Today, we're going to talk about two of the conditions that are often associated with the ADHD diagnosis. Now, keep in mind that not everyone with ADHD would have these two conditions. And we're also going to be talking about the cause and effect of the relationship between these two conditions and ADHD. So, what are the two conditions that we're talking about? The first one is called oppositional defiant disorder, and the second one is called conduct disorder. So, what are these? Oppositional defiant disorder just means that someone who possesses the trait of a consistent behavior that seems to defy authority. They tend to have the tendency to break the rules. They don't want to follow the rules. They often find themselves lying to get out of doing something, and they're often opposing to authority figures like the parents, teachers, principals, police officers. So if you find your child often in these situations where they're not listening to the teacher or openly defying the teacher, these are very two different things. I want to clarify. So someone without oppositional defiant disorder but has ADHD, they might intend to follow the classroom rules, but they just fail to because they couldn't help themselves because it's hard for them to keep their impulses in check, like getting out of their seats or dropping their pencils or bumping into the student in front of them. That's different from oppositional defiant disorder because in that case, they would openly defy the teacher, basically picking up the textbook, showing it to the teacher, and just dropping it, making a loud sound. Or when a teacher asks them to turn in their homework, they would intentionally rip it in half, for example. So one is not able to follow the rules because they couldn't help themselves or inadvertently not following the rules. And oppositional defiant disorder is when they openly defy you. How about conduct disorder? Conduct disorder basically is oppositional defiant disorder taken to the next level. So what is the distinction? One easy way to think of it is that conduct disorder basically take it to the point where the consequences, the outcome of the behavior often lead to serious consequences like bodily injury um, or breaking the law or personal is significant breaking their personal relationship. So what I mean by that is, for example, if someone's consistently and repeatedly steal things, someone who destroy property, taking a baseball bat and going down the neighborhood and just smashing all the car windows, um, truancy, bringing weapons to school, vaping in school, or getting to fights, or getting arrested for drunk driving. So conduct disorder basically is oppositional defiant disorder that's ramped up a notch to the point of uh, becoming illegal activities or serious bodily injuries as the outcome of their behavior. So a lot of times I wonder whether these behaviors or these two diagnoses are often associated with ADHD because ADHD symptoms occasionally will cause them to have a pattern of behavior that self perpetuates. For example, if you're impulsive, you tend to blurt out answers or say funny things, and these students they will acquire a reputation of being the class clown. Or if they repeatedly they're unable to complete their homework assignments, so they're forced to lie about it when it comes to turning assignments, or they complete the assignments, forget to bring it to school, and they're just frustrated. So instead of saying I forgot again, they were just saying, yeah, I just didn't do my homework. I'm not, refuse to do my homework. So whether ADHD symptoms eventually cause these two conditions, oppositional defiant disorder or conduct disorder. To me, that's kind of besides the point because whether what's something that's causing this, the end outcome is the same. We still need to address these behaviors. And for me, this is not necessarily a genetic predisposition to these behaviors, negative behaviors. Unlike ADHD, where there's a very specific and distinct genetic disposition for ADHD. So, how do you resolve these conditions? How do you improve their behavior when it comes to ODD, oppositional defiant disorder, or conduct disorder? Medication can help only partially because it can control the ADHD symptoms, but if someone developed an attitude toward breaking the law or they acquired a reputation of being the bad boy, then you really have to address behavioral modification. So a lot of time, either group counseling or one-on-one counseling can be very beneficial, basically demonstrating that it is really to their advantage to control their behavior and improve their behavior so that they get what they want. Because I'm sure nobody really wants to be punished all the time. And eventually, they will realize that having this reputation of being bad doesn't really serve them well. So it usually requires a collaboration between a treating physician, who is the MD, or a psychiatrist, and a clinical social worker, who's a professional counselor or a psychologist, and also working with the school counselor and the teacher. It's through this collaboration can we gradually minimize the detrimental effect of these two conditions. All right, I think that concludes this video and have a wonderful day. Bye bye.